let's imagine you're going into a restroom, and then you got into the restroom. There's red towels, red floor towels, red water towels, red red toilet accessories. Everything is red, and you are really feeling pressed.
Really
So when you enter that space, like how do you feel? You literally want to run out.
Hey everyone, welcome
Hi.
to another episode of Design Forward. I am Joseph, Emmanuel Joseph. I'm sure you have seen me in previous episodes. And with me here is our
new
esteemed
face.
creative director at 528.
My name is Bukola and welcome to another exciting episode 5.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, so what are we talking about today?
So today we'll be talking about designing for the senses, basically. So I think the whole definition of luxury has changed to just, things we see as expensive, but now is now encapsulating everything that you feel, the whole sensory nerves of your body. You can get into certain spaces that's, adorned with gold, with expensive Italian marble, with Corinthian leather, but yet something is still feeling off. So that's the possibility. But now we're going to explain to you why that happens, or what's the reason for that.
And I think that's actually because like you said, design is now beyond what you can see alone. It is now the emotion that comes out from it, and like the general senses that you might have. You have the 5 senses. You have your eyes, you have your hair, you have your nose,
Exactly.
you have the mouth, and then is it mouth? Yeah, tongue. Then you have your skin. So you have that 5 senses that really encapsulates how you feel. That's your emotion. Now bringing it down to design, then those are also the parts of the body that determines how you eventually feel about a space, the emotion. So it's not, like you said, is gone past gold or things that look luxurious but is not really luxury in itself, and is more now into how do I feel about this space, how does this space make me feel. And really, that's what we're talking about today.
So let's talk about the brain for a little bit.
Diving into science.
All
right, let's go there.
All right. So, but how you have memories, and sometimes you don't realize that you're not just remembering what you saw. It's literally all the senses around that your brain picks up and stores into that memory. So it's the reason why maybe there's a particular food you smelled and then you remember.
I've smelled this, or I've tasted this somewhere before.
I know what this is exactly. Or if there's a particular feeling you have, okay, you felt this, you know how it feels. So in as much as luxury is trying to get the best of the best, but it's also a lot of comfort inside of it. There's a lot of that feeling, that
perception about it.
Exactly. So it has to be very memorable. You enter the space and you know that you definitely, I was here.
An experience.
And the experience was very solid. So that's basically the whole point of this discussion. So I think we'll now dive into materials.
That's the touch, right?
Yes. So touch. So a lot of times, especially some people in, let me not enter into Nigerian real estate companies or developers, but
but we know.
If you know, you know. But a lot of times they usually just bank on how it appears, the aesthetics,
the look,
and that's the mistake that a lot of people make. This chair looks nice, but is this chair comfortable? Will you sit on this chair and this chair feels like a hug? Would you remember? You will only remember that you might even forget. But if this chair felt
very
really
comfortable,
you definitely remember that. You might even want to save it for later and say, okay, I have to get this chair. That's basically how it is. Especially like materials. Materials are very, very important in design, because if the material is constantly wearing, you definitely know that this is no go area. But then those materials that feel high end, you just know when you touch them, they just feel
Different.
a certain type of way, whether it's leather, whether
Leather,
it's
fabric,
whether it's velvet,
even towels
even
or wall
tiles.
finish.
What all the textures themselves, they literally tell you something. They store in your brain.
Memory.
So, but what do you have to say concerning materials or textures in general?
Yeah, so just speaking out from things that you've also said before. So it's beyond, especially for material, it's beyond what you see. It's beyond how it looks. It's now how does it feel? Is it soft? Is it comfortable? How does it feel to me? How does it make me feel? Like I said, what finishes. So it's not just about what you can see. It's beyond what you see, like we say, understated luxury, and that literally
Exactly.
is what it is.
You might not even know what it is
Until you have a feel of it. I'm
Exactly.
like, oh wow, I love this. Like, this feels so nice
Exactly.
to touch, and then that's just when it comes to the material aspect of it. But the main one that people see is the sides, and the site, yes, how the material itself looks. But if you want to even dive in a little bit deeper, even into how it looks, we can even now go into the lighting.
Exactly.
The lighting, because there are materials where by the time you shine light on it, there's a way it looks different. So also picking light for a space matters. So it's not just, oh yeah, the material is done well, but a wrong light in a wrong space would give a wrong perception.
Exactly.
Imagine you are designing like a fashion space. You don't use warm white, because how will I be able to tell the actual material that was used? Yes, the material is nice, everything about it, touch, and that is nice. But now, because of the lighting that was placed in, it's giving it a wrong perception.
True.
So the whole space is nice, but the lighting is bad. So when we talk about the sense of sight, like sight, even as in interior design, in a luxury interior design, it's beyond what you see. A whole lot of things contribute to that. The light has to be right, the material is right now, right? The lighting and every other thing also has to be right.
Just even touching on that even a bit more. It's funny how you get into a space and you feel a certain type of way, and you don't know exactly, you might not know exactly what is registered. But funny enough, if you take these particular elements that we talk about out of the space, then it's now become apparent that something is missing.
No light actually affects your mood.
Exactly.
So there's a way light affects the mood. Imagine you come into a space and the whole place, the light there is all red. No matter how the material feels interesting and anything, with that light, like the perception you have is very different. There's something one of my lecturers.
Shout out to my blue light people.
There's something one of my lecturers in school always says. He will ask you that. So when you enter a space, let's imagine you are going into a restroom, and then you goes into the restroom. There's red towels, red floor towels, red water towels, red toilet accessories, everything is red, and you are really feeling pressed.
Really feel pressed.
So when you enter that space, like, how do you feel? You literally want to run out, because you're like, no, like I can't stay here. So that's to show that a whole lot of things brings in perception, and that's what it is about the space. How do you feel about the space? What's it making you feel like? Is it space feeling? Are you having this luxury memory about the space? Like, when I have this smell or feel this kind of material later, I remember this. I remember this space. That's the difference. I think we've talked on the sights and then the touch. I think let's talk about the hair.
Funny enough, something I think a lot of interior designers or space curators in general don't really take note of, like, critically, is sound, because they think about the lights, they think about the
material, the touch, I know.
sound is so, especially for someone like me now that's into music and things like that, sound is very important for me. And I feel like every single room, because even when I grew up, the house I grew up in, acoustics was
Very important.
out of sight, out of mind. There was nothing concerning acoustics. You can be
This
literally
space.
downstairs and everybody can hear what you're saying.
Wow.
So, and that just goes to show that sometimes it's not really thoughtfully made.
yeah.
Because take for instance the master bedroom, whatever is going on in the master bedroom should stay in the master bedroom. Nobody should be able to
Hear the conversations.
hear conversations. Imagine being in one spot in the house and you can hear conversations from every single place in the house. What type of design is that? So yes,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's cool that we want to use nice marble for everywhere, but sometimes some spaces don't require this. If it's a bedroom, you should feel cozy. It shouldn't feel cold. You should feel, and funny
The
enough,
warmth.
you should feel warm, and that even helps with the sound.
Yeah.
Even funny enough, the kind of paints they even use can even help to dampen the sound. So take for instance textured paints versus glossy paint. So glossy paints would reflect sound,
Yeah.
and then the textured ones can absorb, or
Yes.
even the matte paints for walls absorb sound.
Sounds. Yeah.
So but I think volume levels for each space is actually something that needs to be considered.
Very true. Very true. You can't just enter a space, like we're saying that you can't enter a space and then the sound level. Imagine you're going to like an high-end restaurant, and then I'm entering there. The sound I'm hearing is just very, very ras and very loud. Your whole perception and everything. It changes your mood totally.
Exactly.
So sound is. So even in offices, you can't imagine. You can't use the same level of sound in an office for a restaurant. You have to know. You have to be able to balance it. Even for a house, for different spaces require different sound level, like you said, and you have to be able to know, okay, what is this space? What's this? What do we want people to feel when they come into this space? Do we want them to, feel very high, or we just want something very calm, something very serene? And you can use sound to drive that. To also help, in the, not just about how the space is making you feel, but sound will also help you to create that perception, the mood that you want for the space.
Exactly.
And
so even still going on that, I think a pointer that helps is the purpose for which the space
definitely
is supposed to be for.
Yeah.
If it's somewhere that acoustics is, let's say it's a studio or it's a church, or
so those ones are normally you work on the sound. Yeah,
exactly. You definitely know that. Well, it depends. Sometimes you might want, like for auditoriums that are large, you might want a bit of echo, just to balance the echo and then the padding. And honestly, luxury, that's one of the boxes that you have to take for luxury too. Make sure that you thought about it, you thought about the sound, and not just using hard materials everywhere just because it's looking nice.
Very true. And I think the last thing is the sense of smell. The smell of the space. How does the space, like, what's the smell? What's that? What welcomes you into the space? Like, what's the aroma? Like, how is it like? So like we said, even in our conversation about the luxury part of it is how this individual, how the individual senses make you remember the space. Like even when I maybe have a contact with this smell again somewhere else, I can remember, oh no, I've been here, and that was the scent that welcomed me into the space. So the scent of a space also really do affect the overall perception of the space. You are entering a restaurant, entering an office. What kind of diffuser are you using? The candles. Just imagine going to a spa and then the smell is not. It's like it's not. You really, the places. Like I feel like what we've been saying since morning is how all these things come together to make a space, to make you have a very nice and a good perception about the space. What people have been and narrowing on is how it looks. So this is like just to everything works hand in hand. If the smell is not nice, the sound is not nice, is looking good, but every other thing is not working well, the perception would definitely will be different. So do you have anything to add more on the smell?
Yes, I have. Because for me, I usually tie smells to like different places. So for instance, funny example, but Lagos has a smell. It's not
very true.
It's not pleasant.
Very
it's
true.
Not pleasant, but
and you are coming into Lagos, oh my God, I'm in Lagos.
Lagos is just, sorry to say, but Lagos is so smelly, and it's funny because anytime I leave Lagos, it smells different. It feels different. And funny enough, each country actually has their own smell. So like for some HNI people, if they are in certain places and maybe staff is pre-informed that they are coming, they might curate a particular scent that makes them remember a particular place, a particular country. It's scent is so powerful. Sometimes we don't even think about it. We might just buy random. It's not even just about just buying nice smelling perfumes, but it has to be, because each smell actually opens up a different memory in your brain. So it's important to curate the smells based on you. That's why you even need to learn more about your clientele, just to know that this will be nice for them. Or do they like spring kind of smell? Do they like this Japan
trees,
sakura
leaves,
kind of smell?
Different ones.
Smell is definitely important. It is one of the things that can make your space feel comfortable or
different,
uncomfortable. Definitely.
Very true.
Yes, when you walk into a restaurant, as much as everyone is looking cool, once the smell is on point, definitely it's not just the smell of food or but
the general smell of the space.
Just make sure the restaurant is not smelling like Lagos. So let them leave Lagos outside, but once they cross that door, just know that
it's a different experience.
It's one of the things that literally ties the space together. So now I think we've covered most of it, and the only thing that we can really say is like tying everything together.
Definitely.
And I think one of the important ways you can do that is actually by asking the correct questions. So it's not just everything like asking, because we as interior designers, we can make the mistake of just always asking, how does it look? How does it look? How does it look? So it's stop designing for pictures.
Just the look.
You're designing for actual people that let you feel lived in.
Users.
So literally ask, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the materials? Literally, sometimes I'm biased to certain materials, but sometimes you just need to enlighten them that this is literally how it is, and then sometimes they can actually have preferences that are much better for them. So it's like asking very curated questions as to how they would feel in this particular place,
or how they even want to feel.
So
you know what you're actually proposing.
Exactly.
Some people
go to hotels a lot, and they just find comfort in that. So that's warm atmosphere. When they want to curate their space, they would always want that warm feeling.
And I actually think that's what happens to people that they have this feeling like, I want to go to this hotel. I don't like staying in my space. It's because of the perception they're having about that they are not getting from their space.
They say home away from home.
Home away from home, but in actual sense, it's not even maybe how it looks. It's a different perception they're having. Exactly. The sound, the smell everything that they don't have in their house. True. Really, if people can literally just sit down that, for this space, what is actually making me to feel this kind of way, this way, and then you incorporate it in your space. Then you make your home the home. You don't have to actually do home away from home, because your home now literally becomes where you really want to be. It becomes where because everything now is, you are putting everything in play about it.
True. So please, all designers, ask the right questions and be very particular about the kind of client. Because all these things literally make or break the space, or makes your design different. And because honestly, the true meaning of luxury is is not necessarily loud
at all.
It's just that there are particular elements that come together to give a particular feeling, and the feeling is comfort. Honestly, that's what it is. It's just making you feel comfortable without you don't necessarily. There's no particular point that's standing out from each other. Everything just comes
blends together, and then
so
just creating that
honestly
experience. And I think just to wrap it up, we've talked a whole lot about how you feel, and it's just to designers and even to clients that what really makes a space look luxurious or feel luxurious is more than what you see.
Exactly.
It's in the sound, it's in the scent, it's in your sense of touch. Generally, the experience you have in the space. Luxury is not even shouting in the first place. Understated luxury, very subtle, but the comfort and then the experience you're having from it is what is giving you that joy. Like, I really love to be in this space. I really want to be here. And to our fellow designers is just to also remind everyone that all these things have a play.
A very important role.
They have a play in how you design the space.
Of seeing the same thing every day.
But if they have different perception, I like the smell, I like the touch, I like the sound, Yeah.
So yes, thank you so much for listening to our TED Talk.
Thank you, really, and we look forward to
the next episode. Watch out for it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share everyone, every single person,
all designers and clients,
everyone. Please share, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.